Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 2, Episode 5 of War of the Ring, and we are playing the War of the Ring expansion set, Lords of Middle-earth. We are on turn 5, and we've had a pretty interesting game so far. Last round, Fellowship advanced, Saruman came on the board. We've got Saruman on the board. We also have Galadriel and Elrond on the board. Troops are beginning to move out of Mordor, and Orthanc, you can see, is a hotbed of orc activity, and we're also starting to muster some troops from the allied folks, and you can see the north is even being overrun a bit here. So definitely a lot of activity going on. Before we jump into turn 5, quick shout out to Pontus Fathom Press, Dead Sons 11 and Locksmith of Quanta, 2-volume set. It is sci-fi epic, blurring into history and deep sci-fi in the sense of it's the end of the universe, black hole sentient beings, but also looking at humans mark across time. So lots of interesting things there in both of those volumes. So check out the bookstore links below. Help us to support the channel, keep things going here. We also have a Patreon. If just a small contribution is better for you, we'd really appreciate that. And as usual, growing the channel, looking to do live gameplay, and your likes, subscriptions, and even your comments, all read and appreciated. So ring the bell, get notified when we're playing other games. I'm also putting out Joan of Arc games probably monthly now, and we're swapping between Eldritch Horror, Cthulhu Death May Die, Conan by Monolith, Game of Thrones games. Just picked up Song of Ice and Fire, so if you're interested in seeing us do the tabletop thing, we got Joan of Arc, Songs of Ice and Fire out there too. So lots of good stuff. So let's jump into turn 5, and we'll start out with reclaiming the dice. But before we do, I think I'm going to play this Gandalf the Grey, Keeper of Narya. If Gandalf the Grey is a guide during the recovery action dice phase, and you recover at least one free people action dice from the hunt box, add the Narya die to the action die pool, which we always do. Okay, we've got that. But we also have, if Gandalf the Grey is in an unconquered settlement of a free people nation, use the Narya Elven Ring counter and one action die to activate the nation and move it directly to the at-war step. So I believe that means we're going to declare the Fellowship in this position once we... So we're going to recover action dice. We have the one action die to recover. We will put the rest of our dice back. We've got all 3 of these dice on the board. We've got our Shadow player's dice. We will leave the 1 die in the Shadow pool. We also have adding Saruman is on the board, so we add a die for him. And we will draw our cards. So we can draw 2 cards for each. We've got the Kindred of Glorfindel. Recruit 1 elven unit and then draw 1 strategy event card. Wow, that's a great one. Eagles are coming. Pits of Mordor. And the Witch King is at play, besieging a stronghold. Okay, so we will go ahead and we will declare the Fellowship. So we did declare the Fellowship here. We're at 4, so we're in Westnet here. So the Fellowship has moved here. It's been revealed here. And Gandalf also, Gandalf the Grey, to start with, is here in this space. So he can, as bearer of Narya the White, he can also take any action die to. So as a leader, I guess we don't have to take him out just yet. Well, we can leave him here for now. But just to remind me, I'll leave him here. So he can change one die to make Rohan at war. So let's go ahead and roll these up. Okay. So we get one more Eye of Sauron die there. So let's go ahead and we'll do that action die. We'll just take one of our muster dice, I guess. We can take this one, and we will make Rohan not only active but at war as an action there. And then our hunt allocation has been allocated. We've got the dice rolls. So now we've not moved, so we can go ahead and have our players take their next turn. So we'll have the shadow player will play the Pits of Mordor just to move a card into play. In Pits of Mordor, he gets 2 regular units in each of 3 different Sauron strongholds. So he can add his additional reinforcements to 3 different strongholds. So I've got one. I've already moved those. Well, let's see. Maybe let me rethink that. Before I use that card, let me just see my other cards here. So, maybe I won't play that card just yet. Let's see what we can do first with our. Let's just move our army. And I believe we will move this army up to here through Moranon. Okay, and we'll move that one army instead. So instead of moving the card, we'll move the army. Next die, we can play a leader. Perhaps we will do Gandalf the White. It can come off here. So Gandalf the White. Okay, we don't have to jump into Gandalf the White just yet. So let's see what other leadership card we can play. From leadership, we can we get the ability to move a leader, fellowship progress, separate companion. We can hide the fellowship again. So we will again hide the fellowship. We will resort the fellowship to hidden again, and I think we reset the track. Right, the fellowship track is reset. Is that correct? Right, it's the last place that we've seen the fellowship. So fellowship track is set, and we can take that as a leader die roll. Next, for the shadow player, we can have them move a let's have them draw another event card with one of their. Okay, so we'll replace this with a draw event, and that's fine. And we get the hill trolls, and then we can go back to our army position, and what we're going to do is we're going to move this to Helm's Deep. And we'll also move this to Helm's. We'll move this first to Helm's Deep, and we can use that with one of our army pieces. Next, go to the die for event. We'll play an event card, and that one will be the Hill Troll card. If Sauron is at war, replace 2 Sauron regular units anywhere on the board with 2 Sauron elite units. So that's even better. We'll put in these Sauron elite units. We'll put one here, and we'll put one in this army here. Okay, so that one is discarded. So we've gotten those units. Okay, next up is the player, the Free Peoples. We will also give them the ability to play. Oh, let me just put Galadriel out there. So Galadriel, she is able to replace the tile in the hunt. Okay. So let's have our armies diplomatic action. We'll have Aragorn also leave the Fellowship with the this dagger here. Aragorn will leave the Fellowship. And Strider will leave the Fellowship. So we're just going to place him on the board as Strider. We'll take him out here, put him in the space as Strider. Next up, we will go back to Shadow Player, and we're going to move a this Nazgul to Orthanc with that leadership piece. Next up, we'll move our troops again. We'll move these from Edoras to here, and we'll move troops up to the front line here, as that's getting quite crowded. So we'll move that as another army move. Back to the Shadow Player. We will use a muster card. Nope, not a muster card. We will use a muster to recruit and reinforcements. So we will use a muster card and recruit reinforcements into here, we'll say. And then, oh no, it's going to be an elite unit. So let's put another elite unit, recruit an elite unit here, I guess. And yeah, and then we can go back to our muster for the Free Peoples, and we'll have them play an event card. Recruit 1. Erebor or Eredlun. Okay, so we're going to move any or all companions that are not in the Fellowship. We're going to move Elric, sorry, my mind, right? Aragorn, we're going to move Aragorn down 1 with this Book of Marzabul. And we'll move Gandalf to Fangorn Forest. We can discard this one. Then and we'll take that as a Muster. Oh, that was a card. We played that as a card roll. Okay. Finally, we have a character card. Move Nazgul. We'll move our Nazgul. An army with a leader can move, so this army can move down with a leader. So we move that army down. And then finally we have our final muster army move. We're going to muster, since Rohan is now at war, they can muster, they will get one leader and one regular army. In any two different friendly and free settlements. One leader and one regular army. So a leader and a regular army, or an elite. An elite unit in any settlement and free one elite unit. Okay, so let's grab an elite unit and we'll place it here up in the front line. We got the elite unit there, so that'll be our last move for Rohan. So Rohan is at war with the Orthanc. They're starting to muster troops. We've got Gandalf and Aragorn have left the Fellowship, and that is going to be Gandalf and Strider have left the Fellowship, so we've got them out sort of on the board here. And that's going to be it for turn 5. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Come back in turn 6, and we will see how the Fellowship goes and how our heroes make out. And it looks like the shadow is on the rise, so let's check out what Saruman has to do and help out Gondor down in the south. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.